Okay, today is October 24th, 2018, and this is just a very quick update. I don't have time today to talk about Patrick J. Michaels, but I just wanted to get a video up showing that Hurricane Willa right down here has been completely blown apart. We can see that. That's the leftovers of Willa right there. And last night we had just a tremendous blanket of chemtrails over the Los Angeles area as this frontal system moved through Southern California. And then prior to that, we had this low pressure, which also passed right over Southern California, yielding zero rain. But however, in Arizona and New Mexico, we saw quite a bit of rain falling. And I've got some screenshots, which I'll have to show on another video, the next video, showing how the WSR 88Ds were chopping up and breaking up that precipitation in both of these states. Now we can see that we have a low pressure system right here trying to develop, and this low is completely surrounded by a transmitter which is squashing out this low pressure. So we've got this is a storm actually right here, 976 millibar I believe up here in the Gulf of Alaska, and the pressure chart shows a very large cold front extending down into the East Pacific. We can take a look at that here. Right here. And we can see that a developing storm, which is actually going to hook back towards Alaska. We see this arrow right here. We have an occluded front. There's actually a right angle on the center of this weather system. We'll take a look at that. We have this cold front swinging down, which should be moving into Oregon and California. But here we see high pressure. This is not entirely accurate. Let's go back and look at the map. Here we see the right angle imprint right there. It's not a very clean looking angle, but it's there. All right, so now today we can see right here there is a portion of moisture moving down the coast. Let's look at this in the western U.S. water vapor map. You see a area of moisture. This should be dropping down and delivering rain to the Bay Area, and also we got Vandenberg right here, and then LA right down here. So last night we had a tremendous chemtrail spring starting in the late afternoon and going all the way through the evening. I've got some pictures which I'll show in the next video of all that nighttime spraying, which disproves the solar radiation management argument. The solar radiation management argument is it's a fraud. It's a straw man argument that gives purpose to the spraying operation. The people that are peddling that argument use SRM as a means of validating the chemtrail spraying, which really has nothing at all to do with blocking the sunlight. If we're going to block the sun, and why not just allow the natural clouds to move in and drop some rain? That'll drop the temperature, and it'll give us some rain. That's not happening. So later today, probably around a little bit past noontime, we're going to see this pocket of moisture right here move down over the LA area. We can see that right here. And so we've got a no rain forecast. And so guess what? We're going to see a lot of chemtrail spraying. This is the area of moisture that passed over us last night. It's moving away into Arizona. And so we had no rain last night. We've got no rain in the forecast today, but yet we've got moisture. This should be bringing rain, but the jets will be up spraying. And we'll see that here shortly. It's 10:30 right now in the morning. I don't have my weather stats handy, but the barometer is at 29.93. The humidity is around 37%. So here we have an opportunity for rain right here, and instead we're going to have chemtrail spraying. So I figured by about probably noontime or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to see these chemtrails being sprayed over this incoming moisture that's moving down the coast of California. So we've got a low here, which is being squashed. We can see the transmitter outline. And we've got the frontal system, which is right here from this storm, which is having to ride up and over this high pressure, which is being installed right on top of that low. And then, of course, we have this huge weather system right here over New Mexico and Texas, which is going to dump some rain out on the central part of the country and the East Coast. Very large weather system there. This also has a right angle. Look at this. This is a satellite transmitter working on the center of that weather system right there. That is preventing this frontal system moisture from winding back into that vortex. But at the same time, it causes violent weather conditions right near this activity. So we could see some tornadoes and a wild wind. Right here is this area. We see that high pressure is being forced. This is a high pressure zone right there, the dark area. And that will cause a problem here because we have a weather system that's trying to develop a low pressure weather system, and yet high pressure is being forced into the center. And that's where we're getting this right angle imprint. Same thing up here. See the sort of a rectangle right there towards the end. All right, so here's the swell report. That storm out in the Gulf of California is generating 24-foot swells right out here. And once again, the surface analysis map, we see that this is a 972 millibar system, which is going to be forced to the north. And we've got 90-degree weather on tap for the next several days, high 80s to low 90s here in the valleys. So we've got a organized crime racket going here, preventing the rain systematically here in the state of California. And in the next video, I'll pull up the weather that we saw over New Mexico and Arizona here just yesterday and last night, showing rain. So California is just being gypped of rain. It's really amazing that this is going on so long without a single politician in California doing anything about this or mentioning it. So this November on Election Day, I would just say that let's just vote these people out. The Democrats have nothing to offer. And that's not a personal stab at anyone who is a Democrat. I've been an independent for many, many years. More libertarian than anything else. But what's going on here with the Democratic Party is just upside down and backwards and inside out. Just about everything. They have no, how do we get this information through to their heads? What's going on here? The media is covering. They're not showing this information on the news. We've got the federalization of science, which has been politicized. That's what part of this Patrick J. Michaels interview on Life, Liberty, and Leaven Sunday night. The only real good point that I came away with out of that discussion, which just meandered around and didn't really go anywhere, but the only good point is that we've had the result of all this is the scientists have been federalized. The knowledge that they're supposed to produce is mixed with politics. And so in dealing with climate change, we'll never get to the bottom of what's going on because there's an agenda. But these maps here tell us all we need to know. We can see what's going on. This is very simple to see. And so this is why these maps are not shown on television, because the media is basically a far left-leaning production, and they have their agenda. And meanwhile, we've got about 140 million dead trees in this state right here, California. So this is all something to think about when you vote in November. I would recommend just voting out the Democrats. They've done nothing. Their eyes are shut. It didn't used to be that way. You know, John Kennedy would be a conservative by today's standards. As a Democrat, he'd be kicked out of the Democratic Party for being, you know, a conservative. But this is what's happened, and these people are blind, either willfully blind or they're stupid blind, whatever it is. We don't know. It's a mixture of both. But something's got to be done. So I would recommend that everybody in California vote for anybody but the Democrats, because they've not done any good for California. The grizzly bear on our flag should be taken off and replaced by a rabbit or something like that, because California was founded by self-sufficient people, and if we're ever going to restore this state, we have to get rid of these people that are running our state from the top down. Okay, that's it.